Lesson 7. Music, Notes, and Math from Learn Violin Fast, Book 2. If you like math, and I hope you do, let's talk numbers. Please review Book 1, Sections 1 and 2, that air is, or sound is air vibrations or changes in air pressure, and are created when we perceive, that's what we perceive as sound, right? Moving air or changes in air pressure is what we call sound. On a violin, the body of the violin vibrates when a string is plucked or bowed. Then the vibrations travel through the bridge, right? As we talked in the previous lesson, using the sound post as a lever and the bass bar that makes longitudinally the entire top of the violin shake. And it vibrates and creates the sound, or moves air and creates sound, okay? When you play open A, the string vibrates 440 times per second, or what we call Hertz, right? Or short 8Z. So this is open A, and this is 440 vibrations per second. That's what makes that particular pitch. When we say that an open A is 440, right? That's what we say, 440. When you tune your violin, I need a 440. Here are the frequencies of notes that you saw in the above example. Okay, round us to the nearest whole number for ease of use. Now, if you want to get really scientific here, these frequencies, they're called what equal temperament tuning. We're just going to round numbers to make the math simple. So if you're going to be exact, or if you want to look this up on the internet, the numbers will be slightly different. Here, we just round it for ease of understanding and use, okay? So the notes of the violin that have forced vibrations, as we discussed before, is 1 on G, which is A. This is 220 Hertz. 1 on D. 330 Hertz. You'll notice that as the numbers go up, the sound goes higher. This is 3 on D, which is the G on the D string. This is 392 Hertz. 3 on A is 587. The low 2 on G is 784. And the high A is 880 Hertz. Okay, now open strings are, open G is 196 Hertz. Open D is 292. Open A is 440. And open E is 660. Now, let's look at these numbers, and do you notice any patterns or cool facts? When you play 1 on G, it makes the A with vibrations of 220 Hertz. If you multiply 220 by 2, you get a 440, which is open A. And if you multiply 220 by 3, you get 660 Hertz, which is open E. Although it's hard to see, if your 1 on G is in tune and your instrument is in tune, your open strings are in tune, both open A and open E are forced to vibrate. You can actually see and hear the open strings and their forced vibration. So to answer the question from previous lesson, how can 1 on G, which makes an A, vibrate open E when it's not even the same note or letter? It makes sense that 1 on G being an A makes the open A vibrate, but why does it make open E vibrate? And the answer to that is that open E is an even third or 3 multiples of 1 on G. 220 times 2 is 440, times 3 is 660. So that simple by multiples of the fundamental frequency makes the other string vibrate, even though it's not the same note, right? If a vibration goes evenly into that number or that note, it will be forced to vibrate. So the reason the violin sounds so rich and it's just such a beautiful sound is that when you play in tune and you have a good instrument, really a lot of the open strings actually vibrate and they create a really rich sound. So you're not just playing one note, the open strings are also vibrating, creating extra frequencies, creating a very rich sound. 1 on D makes E with vibrations of 330, which if you double, you get 660, which is your open E, right? So basically, if you just double or triple a low frequency, it will make the higher frequency or higher string vibrate. So vibrations of an open G are 196, and if you double that frequency, you get 392, which is the third finger on the D string. Right? So third finger on D, which is G, open G, and 3 on D. 3 on D vibrates twice as fast. And so the third finger on the D string should make open G vibrate. So the same is true for 3 fingers on D, open D will vibrate, and 3 fingers on E will make open A vibrate. So I hope the numbers aren't too scary. I hope that makes sense. But basically, the string vibrates at a particular speed or hertz per second. And when the violin's body shakes at that particular frequency, then when the corresponding or even multiples, so by any vibration times 2 will give us the same note. Any vibration times 3 will give us a note plus a fifth. So 1 on G makes open A and open E vibrate because it goes evenly into that number. You can see, you can hear all of these. I'm going to play this one more time. I'm not sure if you can hear through the mic and the camera, but I'm going to play those ringing vibrations one more time. And if you listen carefully, you should be able to hear higher pitches that are very, very small and hard to hear, but they're there. So here's 1 on G. Thanks for watching. I hope you find this interesting. It's very, very cool how music and how violin works. And I'll see you in the next lesson. Thanks.